Hello, everybody. I'm back. Did you miss me? I don't know, but I missed you. But I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And I brought somebody with me. Hello. Hello, Cynthia. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excited. It's good to see you back online, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Oh, always, always, always. But again, yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you for supporting Coach Ricardo Miller, who was here in my stead for the past 2 weeks. I know you wish he was back here on here today, but I'm back. So I want to thank him again for everything that he did to make sure that all of you did not go without. The Build Your Best Life was still on here with full content. So thank you again to Coach Ricardo Miller for that. And again, thank you so much for all your prayers, for sharing, liking, and commenting. Please continue to do so because it makes such a great difference. As you know, this month of July, we are talking about blueprint for creating and maintaining credibility. I'm going to say that again because that is so essential. Your blueprint for creating and maintaining credibility. Without your credibility, I mean, there's a lot missing. And there's so often we don't think about the things that we say, the things that we do. We just get out there and, well, that's just me. If they don't like it, that's just me. But we should always think about the things that we say, the things that we do, our actions, because they are part of our credibility. And we're going to talk about that some more, but we want to hear from our guest, Cynthia, so she can tell us all about herself and what she loves to do.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for having me on. My name is Cynthia Ferguson. I live in Dallas, Texas. I am definitely a God-fearing woman, first of all. I am a mom of 3 boys. I am the owner of Courageous Conqueror Empowerment and Life Coaching. And I also serve on the board of a couple of organizations which I love and I truly believe in them. And I am also the founder of the Girls Empowerment Group at the school that I work with, at the school that I work at. I'm a school nurse medic, and I started an organization there for girl empowerment, which is called the Wolfettes, and we are in our 11th year. So I like to kind of keep my hands busy in helping others. But I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. And we are excited to have you back. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And again, thank you everybody for being here on Build Your Best Life today. And we're going to talk about something that I think is really, really good, something that everyone thinks about, and that's our assets. And our topic today is a valuable asset. So, what is it, when you think about a valuable asset? I wonder what comes to people's minds. People when you see mention assets, people really normally they don't hesitate. They're immediately saying, "Oh yes, well I have a home, and we have our vacation home there, and I have two cars, an SUV and an RV, and I have my investments, and I have this and I have that," and they just go on and on and on about those assets that they feel like are so valuable. And meaning, who doesn't want to have all those things? But Cynthia, what when you think about your valuable assets, what are your top three most valuable assets?
Well, it's funny, when you said that. Yes, most people do think asset as something like you mentioned, your house, your car, your jewelry. But the actual true definition of asset is a useful or valuable thing, person, or quality. So it could be any of those. As far as an asset, my top three that I like to think that I have is, because everybody has something, and some may be the same as others, but in a different aspect for their character. Um, but it helps to I reflect on their identity. My first one is I like to think is my character. I tend to treat everybody with respect. I try not to judge anybody. That's not my place to judge. And I don't like to repeat what others have told me in confidence. And that is part of my character. So I think character was one. The second one is I'm a caring person. I tend to always want to try to help others. I go above and beyond to help somebody else. Sometimes I help them more than I help myself, but I'm learning to take care of myself as well. Not that I neglect it, but it sometimes comes a little easier to reach out to help somebody else than it does before you help yourself. In my case, it does. And the third one for me is dependability. I think it's important that if you say something, that you're going to do something, that you're going to show up somewhere, that you do it. Now, are there times when, an emergency comes up or something happens that you just absolutely can't be there? Yes. But if you're going to give your word on something and they're expecting you there, be dependable, because that shows a lot. It goes back to your character. It shows a lot that you do value what you do and how you present yourself. And being dependable, whether it's on a job, whether it's on something you say or do that you're going to do, makes a difference. It makes a big difference. I truly believe that.
Yeah, those are really good ones. And I'm glad that you had some character traits that you value as your assets. And Agnes, Dan, Deacon Holmes, how about y'all put something in the chat about at least one of your most valuable assets, what those are? I would love to hear from you. So, although there is nothing wrong with having material possessions, I think about Solomon's decision to choose wisdom over riches when considering his most when considering valuable assets. He could have just asked God for anything and got anything he wanted, but he chose wisdom. And so that's one credibility that characterability trait that is just too valuable, wisdom, because we can all use some of that. So,
Definitely.
yes, and when I give my gratitude, that I find that a lot, and I at least will put down three things that I'm grateful for every morning, and that wisdom is often one. So I think about that a lot. So, Cynthia, can you tell us why having credibility is a valuable asset? Because I think credibility is a great asset to have.
It is. And actually, I was like, credibility. I mean, that's a it's a big word and it means a lot. And I was looking at it and I said, I want to see, I know what it means. Most people know what it means, but I pulled it up just to see the meaning and the definition that they gave. And it's the quality of being trusted and believed in. I mean, that right there, it says a lot. Sometimes we don't associate the word credible with being trusted and believed in. We see it as something different. But yeah, credibility, I think that's an amazing asset to have. It shows that you've been consistent in who you are and in your beliefs and how you are in general. People tend to seek you out in an area that you may be good at because of your credibility. For instance, Deborah, they're going to come to you because they know that you are credible in what you do with Build Your Best Life for the young men. Another person may be, they do taxes, and so they're credible. Hopefully, they're credible. That's what you do and how you present yourself makes a difference. I mean, you've got to be trusted and believed in for somebody to access and use you. And I think having credibility is probably one of the top valuable assets that you can have. Remember, credibility is not built overnight. It's a continuous journey because you can't just wake up and have a business and say, hey, I'm a credible ABC company. You have to earn that title. You have to be consistent and show people that they can trust you and that you can be believed in what you do and the service you offer or whatever it is that you offer. So yes, credibility is probably one of the top assets that I can think of to have.
Yes, and it's so funny, you're talking about material things, but then again, that's trusting and believing in something. And it's like when I go out on Amazon and I'm trying to select something, I'm always looking at the rating, but not just the rating, but how many people provided that rating. Because sometimes you'll have a 5, but it was like 1 or 2 people.
Right.
You may have a 4.8, but it's 12,000 people. So, like you said, someone starts a business and they may have a great product, but they got to prove it. They can't just, I'm open for business and I have the best thing. I've taken the Android and the iPhone and put them together and I got this great product. Y'all need to run out and get it. And it costs less than both of those. Okay, that's what you say. iPhone fan. So I'm not just gonna run out there and get it. You got to prove it to me. I've got to see some credible facts on it being better.
Exactly. You do. And that's just like you said, that's kind of like what the Better Business Bureau does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
Right.
shows credibility in a company. Look at your reviews. That's for businesses, that's for people, that's for, your general character. People look at that.
That's so true.
Yes.
If you just joined us, we are talking about a valuable asset, so not keeping their word, not being dependable, breaking promises, being late, not being trustworthy again. There you go, dishonesty, always being late, never taking ownership of mistakes. Something goes wrong, they're always going to blame the other person. Well, see what happened was this person didn't do this and that person didn't do that. You never want to say, well, I take full responsibility. Though all those things are aspects of someone who is not credible. Hey, I got to ask you, Dan, Agnes, is that what you want to be? someone that's not credible, I don't think so.
And
I
it's
don't
funny.
care about my credibility.
Exactly. I looked it up, Forbes, because Forbes is a very big company. I'm sure everybody's familiar with it. Forbes says that credibility, I had to write this down because I loved it. It says credibility is based on a combination of characteristics that you exhibit in your personal and professional life that build trust in your abilities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I got to look at that one up. That's deep right there. That is deep.
Yeah. That
Like
stood out to
people,
me.
yeah, because you really have to think about that. And we're talking to our young men, we're talking to our mothers with sons, we're talking about everybody that's out there. But think about that, your credibility. If I call your name, what does someone immediately think? If I say, do you know Cynthia Ferguson? She goes to Pathways. Cynthia Ferguson. Oh, you talking about that late? Oh, the one that's always late. She always come in and late and go right straight down the middle aisle. No,
Yep.
you don't want to be Cynthia. Oh yeah, she's over the. I'm just making this up. She's over the greeters ministry. She's always so pleasant. She always has a smile on her face, no matter what I see going on. Yes, I know her. Boy, I mean, I just admire. That early in the morning, she's there. She's always in place with a smile on her face. Hey, that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what people remember you by is, how credible you are in what you do and what you say, which goes back to your character. I
That's
want to
right.
be known as having a good character and being credible. You know, do we still have things to work on? Of course, every day, but that's what I'm striving for.
All right. And you look at, I've said this before, but you look at people all over, and especially when you have young children and they're looking at different people as their role models. So they're looking at the different people, and some of them are, actors, actresses, rappers, movie stars, all these people, uh, athletes,
Mhm.
and they look up to these people. So you wonder, okay, they're rich, they're famous, they're well known, but are they credible? What do they have going for them? Somebody's watching them. Somebody's wanting to say, "Oh, I want to be like them when I grow up." And what I was gonna say that I've said before is that I think it was a couple of years ago when Jerome Bettis he put out that when his father dropped him off to school, he told him, he said, "Hey, you got one name. Keep it safe. Don't go out there acting a fool. Don't be acting up." And I'm just ad libbing. I don't know exactly what he told him, but basically he told him, you got to guard our name. So you come in here to go to school, play football. That's what you need to do. Focus on that. And that is what people forget a lot of times. I'm famous, I'm hot, so I can do things and get away with it. Well, no, you can't, because God always sees what you do. But yes, you're famous, but if you do wrong, people still know. They still may say, "Oh yeah, that's so and so," but child, they got him on sex trafficking. And so they still might come to your concerts or whatever. However, are you someone that they still really look up to?
Yeah,
It's food for thought. Think about it, young people. Think about it.
definitely. Wow.
So, Cynthia, why do so many people not think about how essential it is to establish and maintain their credibility?
Wow. I had to think about that, and there's many different reasons, and I think that a lot of times in life, we're still learning and we're trying to find our way, and um, we don't tend to think that being credible at that time in our life, when we're younger, we're starting out, we don't think about that, and we don't think that it's going to make a difference down the line, and we don't think that oh, we have time to, you know full off on this stuff and then try to climb. But people will always look. We hear this time and time again. People will always remember you from what you've done before than what you are now. And so your credibility, you have to think about it. Not just in work, because you can do that at your workplace, not just on paper and pencil, but how you present yourself and by your actions shows how important it is to have that credibility. You have to earn credibility in everything you do, in everything you do. Um, for instance, I have my girls group. I'm going into my 11th year with that. It took a while. I had to earn, I like to say, earn the credibility that I have now, or else it wouldn't be growing in your business. What you do, you wouldn't be growing if it wasn't credible and people believed in you. And if they didn't, you wouldn't, your ratings and your people on your lives wouldn't show up. Your book wouldn't be selling. I wouldn't be having more and more girls interested in my program and trying to expand it and stuff. It goes in everything that we do. You just have to be credible, and you have to start thinking about it now, even as a young person, as a young man, as a young woman, even as older people. I mean, throughout life, we need to establish our credibility through our actions. It has to be through our actions.
All right, do your actions. I said that earlier. We
Yes.
say things and you can't pull them back in. In cartoons, the words come out and then they pull back in. We can't do that. We cannot do that. And it's in my book, but something that I say is it takes 1 second to ruin a good reputation, but it takes blood, sweat, tears, and years to build or rebuild one. So think about that. So, I could be on top of the world. Oh, I was the best judge in the whole state of Florida. I was fair. My cases, all the defense attorneys were just happy when I was the judge over their case. And then one night I'm driving home, I get stopped for DUI. And that's in the paper. Now, who wants a drunken judge ruling over their cases? Because then they're thinking, oh, now is she drunk this morning? Or is she really listening? Did she have a hangover? 1 second, gone.
Yeah, and I like that you said that it takes, 1 minute. It may take a couple of minutes to make a decision that is going to ruin everything that you've done previous to that. You've worked yourself up. Same thing with how you speak. You can go along and you're speaking and you're teaching, and you can say just one wrong thing, and it's going to take you from here and drop you down to here. And I mean, it could really take a toll on what you do in life, on your career, on family, with friends. So it's important, and I think to me it always goes back to your character. Your character is who you are and how you carry yourself and what you do, to bring to whatever platform you're on, whatever job you're doing, whatever you're doing, do it at 100%, and just, it'll get there. It will get there. But yeah, that's a big one that you said there, because it only takes a split second to ruin everything you've built up. So, oh, wise choices. Sometimes it's harder, sometimes it's hard, but you have to know what you want and what you're willing to give up and what you're not willing to give up.
All right. And, a lot of times people do things, split second. They get angry. They want to try to, scare somebody or whatever, because I don't know these people. What I saw in the news, but it was two people at a gas station, and one got in the way of the other, and they had some words. And when the one guy left, and it was right next to the interstate. So when he got up, this other guy shot at him, which I'm pretty sure, I'm like I said, this is just me, that he was trying to scare him or show him, hey, you gonna mouth off at me? Hey, I could, and he actually hit him and killed him.
Wow.
Now, where you think he is? So that's both of them gone for life. Both two lives ruined, two families ruined, just because you got angry at somebody at a station. Who cares who's first and who's second? Okay, my bad, and wait your turn. Or just even if you were first, is it gonna kill you? Okay, go ahead. I got a few extra minutes, no problem. Sometimes you just gotta take that breath.
Yeah, and especially with our younger generation now, because it's so different now. It is so different, and I know we hear that all the time, but sometimes I try to figure out what is the difference. Is it the parenting? Is it not the parenting? Because you can have parents who will parent all day long, and then when a child gets to a certain age, they're going to make their own decisions and do what they want regardless, no matter what they've learned. You just hope and pray that they have the foundation that the family and their parents have given them, and hopefully realize it before they make a wrong decision. And that's the scary part. That's why I'm saying young people start now, because credibility is a big asset to have for your future in school. If you want to play sports, if you want to, whatever it is that you want to do, they've got to know. Say for instance, you're going up for a scholarship. If you're more credible than Johnny, then more likely you're going to get that scholarship over them.
Right.
So it's important in everything that you do, to keep that in the back of your mind and just go for it.
Yes, definitely. All right. I know this is a lot, so you doesn't have to be five, but whatever you want to give me. But can you give our audience some tips on establishing and maintaining credibility, which can be one of the most valuable assets as they build their best lives?
Yes, and you know what? I was looking up, because I know different assets that I have, you may have, and again, I was so intrigued by a lot of the things because I was doing a little research to see what most people are, and a lot of them are the same, and you'll hear them in a minute. But Forbes again had something that caught my eye, and so the first one is character. It's live by a code of ethics and integrity. That says a lot right there. Live by a code of ethics and integrity. Be honest and accountable for your actions in all situations. This will inspire others to do the same. But what caught my eye was, or ear, I should say, is live by a code of ethics and integrity. That's a small, short sentence, but it means a lot. It means a lot. So character is one. The second one is consistency.
Mm.
Yeah, consistency. It's easy to, if things aren't going your way, it's easy to give up.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, whatever it is, it's easy to give up instead of pushing through. This is one of the most important ones. Be consistent in your dealings with others. Control your emotions and approach disagreements productively, seeking win-win situations. That's in a business. That can be in personal. When it says seeking win-win situations, it could be with a family member. You're not agreeing on something.
Right.
Control your emotions. It's easy to get upset and angry if things aren't going your way, if you're having issues with somebody, but be consistent in all that you do, whether it's the way you talk to somebody, whether it's the way you walk to a building. We get in our little habits of walking a certain, sometimes we got to step out of the box a little, but be consistent in where you're heading and what you want in your goals. The third one I would say would be communication. Communication is a big one. Just because that's how we we communicate with each other every day, through everything and for everything. So make building a rapport with others a priority,
Mm-hmm.
because that makes a difference in how you can communicate and get things across. Focus on listening to others and proactively communicate with them. Make sure positive comments outweigh negative ones. I like that when it says make sure your positive comments outweigh your negative ones. Um,
Yes.
yeah, because it's easy, again, in communicating, whatever the situation may be. Um, it's easy to point out the negative things instead of taking a different approach. I think it takes somebody who has been around the block a few times or really wants to make a difference that will say, okay, it's not just that you can't do this, or you aren't doing it right. You can approach it by saying, you know what, let's try this way and see if this helps. Or if you have an idea, let's bring it in and let's see if we can't figure this out together. But being able to communicate makes a huge difference.
That's right.
Yeah. Number 4, caring. Caring is a big one again. I think all of them, all of these traits are really good. But caring, if you don't care for people, if you don't care for what you do, everything else is void. You have to care for what you want for the people and the things you do. Treat all people as individuals as opposed to a member of a group that they're associated with. It's easy to sometimes judge people if they're with a certain group, and
Mm-hmm.
instead of you know identifying them as that group person, get to know them, get to know who they are, and forge long-term relationships and make an effort to take genuine interest in others. It's easy to walk on by, hey, how you doing, have a good day, and it takes more time to actually get to know somebody, take an interest, and just listen to them,
That's
listen to them. And I think it's good for both sides, because you never know what somebody well, you never know why you've been placed in their path or vice versa.
right.
Yeah. Number 5, commitment. Have a clear vision of your goals and the goals of your team if you're at a workplace, or the goals of your business, or your own personal goal, or your own personal goals. Communicate those objectives clearly. You have a commitment to something, and you know what the commitment is that you've made. Everybody else might not know what that commitment is. So you have to make sure that you communicate those objectives clearly so they know we're on this same path to get to this same goal, or this is the commitment that I'm making. I'm making a commitment to you to do this, and I'm making sure that you understand fully what I'm committing to, or what you're committing to me, so that there's no misunderstandings. No, nothing to say, nope, that's not what I said. Yes, that's what you said. No, that's not what I said. It's make it clear. Communicate those objectives clearly. And then I do have one more.
Okay.
I know you said 5, but I'm gonna throw an extra one.
Right. Get a bonus.
Confidence building.
Mm.
I think it's important that we help each other and build each other up, inspire others, make people feel appreciated and valued. That goes a long way. It goes a long way. I know it does for me. I don't live to be lifted up on a pedestal or anything like that, but it is nice to hear, you know what? Thank you. I
Mhm.
appreciate you. I think most people, it's human nature that we want to hear that and feel that. But we also have to give that back to somebody. If somebody's done something for you nice, or if somebody, opens a door for you, if somebody, um, you know, helps you put something in your car, or whatever the case may be, show appreciation. It could be through a thank you, it could be through a little card, it could be through a high five, it could be whatever the case may be. Show appreciation, because that right there goes a long way. And it also goes back to, I'm going to say, it always goes back to your own character. You want people to know who you are, and that you're not just a show, and that you don't just put it on. You have to keep how you are in everything that you do, in everything that you do. But yeah, confidence building, I think I really like that one because you can build people up and people can help build you up.
That's right.
And I love that. I love that.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love all of those. You can call those the 5 C's or the 6 C's.
Yes. Yes, they're all C's.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we had character, consistency, which I love that word consistency, communication, caring, commitment, and then
Confidence building.
confidence building. And I so agree with you. You know, what does it take? It doesn't take anything from you to acknowledge someone. Oh,
Hmm.
Cynthia, thank you so much. You know, I didn't even think about my plant when I was gone, but I know that was you who ordered it for me while I was gone. Thank you so much. You know, oh, it's raining out. I got an extra umbrella. Do you want to use it? Oh, thank you so much. This is little simple things. It doesn't take, like you say, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take anything from you, but you may make someone's day. Like I was talking with someone yesterday on the phone, and she really took her time to do something that I was trying to do. And she would ask questions and so she said, "Okay, is there anything else that I can do for you?" And I say, "No, it's not." I say, "But before you go, I just would like to say thank you so much for your great service." And she said, "Oh, well, thank you." I said, "Well, no, really, thank you so much." I said, "You just don't know. This week I've been on the phone talking to a lot of people, and some people, you know, they'll like you can tell that they don't really want to help you or they don't know, and they say, oh, because well, hold just 1 minute and click, the phone is immediately going, they just hang up." I say, "So I really appreciate you going above and beyond because you didn't have to. So thank you so much." She said, "Well, thank you. You have made my day." And I didn't take anything from me. I wasn't going to get anything extra or anything like that. But, you know, if she was bad, I'd be trying to find out who could I complain to. So for somebody good, why can't you just say thank you?
Exactly. You know, you given that example, it's people are so ready. You know, you're in a restaurant, something's not right, the food's not right, the waiter or the waitress, forgot your drink or whatever the case may be. You know, how many times do people really go to a manager and say, "Hey, you know what? I just want you to know that, Sally was my waitress tonight. She was on top of things. She was excellent. She brought our food on time. She was friendly. She was this, that." Not very many people will do that. It's easy to point out the negativity, which we talked about a little while ago, as it is, as opposed to the positivity and give somebody a kudos. We
Right.
all deserve it.
That's right. Yep. Yep. So thank you so much. And again, we were talking about, if you tuned in late, we were talking about a valuable asset, and that's your credibility. You know, you can have all the personal possessions in the world, all the money, all the cars and homes or whatever, but if you don't have credibility, if when people say your name or describe you and it's not a positive experience, which one would you rather have? Maybe you rather have all those riches. But when someone says Deborah Smith, I want them to say, oh, that's somebody I can depend on. Well, if Deborah said it, well, I know she was telling the truth. I've never called her in a lie or heard her lie to anybody. You know,
Right.
that's what I prefer. So I think that is a valuable, valuable asset to have, is to be credible. And what was that first definition you gave us, Cynthia?
Of credibility, the quality of being trusted and believed in. And Forbes says credibility is based on a combination of characteristics that you exhibit in your personal and professional life that build trust in your abilities.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, this was some good information, good nuggets that Cynthia dropped. If you didn't get them, um, you can go back and look at the broadcast and get them. But we'll go over them real quick. Cynthia, if you can highlight those six for us real quick for them.
Sure. First one, character. Live by a code of ethics and integrity. Be honest, and accountable for your actions in all situations. This will inspire others to do the same. Number 2, consistency. This is one of the most important ones. Be consistent in your dealings with others, control your emotions, and approach disagreements productively, seeking win-win situations. Number 3, communication. Make building rapport with others a priority. Focus on listening to others and proactively communicate with them. Make sure positive comments outweigh negative comments. Number 4, caring. Treat all people as individuals as opposed to a member of a group they may be associated with. Forge long-term relationships and make an effort to take genuine interest in others. Number 5 is commitment. Have a clear vision of your goals and the goals of your team, if you're on a team or your family, whoever it is, or your own personal goals. Communicate those objectives clearly. And the bonus was confidence building. Inspire others, make them feel appreciated and valued.
Thank you so much. So thank you again for tuning in to Build Your Best Life. And thank you so much. I think it's Danny and Tori for joining us. Please like my page so you can come back again. We love having you here. And Danny, thank you so much for the comments. I really appreciate it. We love comments, so thank you so much. Make sure that you join us Thursday for Thursday Live with Coach Deborah, and my topic is going to be I'm a Pro. I'm a Pro, and it's not going to be what you think, so you got to tune in to check it out. I'm not a pro. So please join us on Thursday. And of course, if you have not been here before, we are declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over everyone's life because God wants you to have prosperity, not disaster, but He wants you to have prosperity and the future that you hope for. So please design your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has for you. And then you got to put in the work and build your best life. So thank you again so much for tuning in. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us and making this a pleasant experience today.
Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. I love your platform. I believe in your platform. And I'm always excited when I see your call or text. And so thank you.
You're welcome. So remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I will look for you Thursday. Be safe. Bye-bye.